Zen has a lot of this dark, almost black there. If it's not black, then it's just slightly off. What I have is a glossy black, and I can use for the main. And I do have white. The problem with the white is that it's very runny. I would much prefer to use silver for her extra belt, the one hanging down. She's already got a belt on her, but it is gray instead of white, so I am going to have to color that. As well, there's a little bit of red on the front of the dress, but her skirt is also of a different style than this. This is more a dress and it has the splits on the side. That one just has a layer that's underneath that's red. And as well, you of course have the gold filigree that's around there. I'm not going to be able to duplicate the fur on the collar, of course, but I do already have the red cuffs, and she doesn't really have the collar under there, I think, although we could pretend that she does. And the shirt is a different style as well. She doesn't have a tie, but I could put a little red stripe down the front of the blouse in order to kind of imitate it. And down here, it's going to be a slight issue, I think, because I don't have any good flesh tones. I could use pink, just lightly, to try to get the fingers on the gloves, as well as well, that's not going to show up there on the thighs unless I use white first. Ideally, you should use primer before you paint something, but I don't have primer. And she's also got red down there on the shoes. What I can do is use some metallic red. It might turn out more orange than red, but still doable. Also, I will definitely need to color her hair. I know that she uses different colors for her models as well, but that's not what we're going for. And then gold for the eyes. And then, of course, I'm going to do the same for the hat. The hat is mainly black, and I'm also going to have to try to do the ALA logo onto the hat somehow. And then I will also paint up the backpack and the guns. I will use black as the main, and then highlight it with red and gold. I think that the red should go where the blue is, and the gold in the center there. And I will also use those color schemes for back here. I would like to try to put the ALA logo somewhere here, and probably go right here or on the underside. Well, the underside doesn't have enough area, I think. So I am going to, have to I'm going to have to put it on the top if I put it anywhere. And I think that is as much as I can do with that one. Of course, her stockings are black, white at the top, but they go all the way up here. So I can put some white here and then go black all the way down with gold on the front. There's nothing on the back I'm seeing. What I need to do is most of it will be black. I'll leave that white so it's like the fur a bit, although there are the color pieces. I can do that white. Yeah, I'll still leave that white, and then this will be black and edged in gold. And I'll do the gold all the way down the sides like panel lines. do white around there as the belt. Let's see. White around here, and then black with the gold in the front. I'll leave some red as the straps. It's almost this, like the pistoning, but it's in a different direction, isn't it? No, it's the same direction, but it also goes across there. So it's going to be tricky because the shoe design here isn't like that at all, and it goes lower in the back. Her hair beret is on the same side. So I was looking at this, and I came to believe that if I didn't want the head to get too busy, that I could use the head Vulcans as carrot. So in other words, I will take the metallic red, which shows up as orange, put it on the tips, maybe some green for the back, and you have carrot. You could also use like 2 of these as ears and 2 more as carrot. And then the main issue is she's got almost an equal amount of white and blue, especially on the top. But this is all blue, this is red. I'm going to have to paint that blue, and I can put in some white or silver stripes there, and more stripes, light blue stripes here. The yellow will have to go. I will make that blue, probably light blue, to fit, and so that it blends in well. What else do I need? Well, a Gundam with frills wouldn't exactly be unheard of, but I don't think it's necessary here. So I think that as long as I take care of the red and the yellow that are already on here, and put in some power line stripes, I can finish this up pretty well. The only other thing is that cross symbol there. It doesn't relate to Bunny, so I might have to make that into a small carrot. So Bunny's main colors are white, a light blue, and a slightly darker blue. And she's also got orange for her carrot clip, and white and pink on her ears, and also white. If you look down on her shoes, she's got little bunny clips and little bunny designs on the second level of her skirting, and also ribbon around her waist, which, well, if I'm going to do, I'll probably do with a twist tie and see if I can paint that. Although I have used twist ties as ribbons before, I've never painted them, so that should be interesting. So again, we've got white and issues with that, being that it's runny. So I may use some silver there in order to balance it up, make it better. Then I've got this light blue, light metallic blue, and what I can do is I can make it sort of like power lines on there. So, and by power line I mean lines by which power would be transferred. I've also got this Real Touch kind of pink, which can look good on certain things, and the Real Touch markers are effective on certain materials but not others. For other plastics, I also have this pink, so I'm going to try these on, well, this is more of a brighter pink, it looks like. I'm not sure if it shows up on the camera. Yeah, so this one is a fainter pink, this one is a brighter, more intense pink. So I could use those in different places. Now, as to the orange for carrot, yellow doesn't quite fit. Red doesn't either, but the trick is, again, that this metallic red shows up more as orange. So I can still use that. Now, because I'm going to have so many issues with the white, I really don't want to work with that leg and arm armor for Bunny if I don't have to. So I do have a remedy for that. And that remedy is in this box. Well, I can use Asher Archer Owie's leg and arm armor. And she shows up kind of in there. And to give you kind of a better idea of what those colors are, it's kind of summerish. Gotta center that a bit. So it looks kind of like this. This is Asura Ninja Alley. And she does have some ribbons. Maybe I can adapt those if I need something. So that might be possible. You can see there's a nice light blue there and white. So some of that may work, I think, pretty well for Bunny. But at the same time, I have to be kind of precise on this. But basically, this is Asura Archer, the normal version. So I would be using these legs and arms and also giving Bunny this bow, or Ari's bow, because Bunny has mentioned that she likes to have more versatility in her equipment, and these turn into swords as well. So lots of nice versatility, and I'm pretty sure Mel won't mind. And doesn't mind. She hasn't said anything about it. Let's switch over. So I'll use those legs and some white, make power lines with the light blue that I have here. And I've also got Meta Purple, but she doesn't have purple. Well, I'm going to have to go all the way over to this blue, metallic blue, for like the middle and her ribbon and fringes. I'm seeing a lot of lighter blue in the middle, plus the buttons, skipping the ribbons on the arms, I think, other than what it comes with. But I do think that that will work quite nicely. Now, since I didn't change the camera settings, I can just continue. Oh. That's right, the rabbit ears. The rabbit ears are something that we need for this, don't we? Whoops. See, this is why I don't like this stand. Hopefully that will stay up. So I have Frame Arm Girl's Bacillard. Here's a fun bunny girl. You can see one of her ears there. It stayed in. The others fell out, unfortunately. She also has a bunny tail somewhere that I could probably use for Bunny. But these are the ears. So she has two that angles back and two that stand straight up. This would be one of the straight up ones if you slot them in. This is leaning back, so I could use one of each and angle at least one of them out to give them a bit of a quirky design. But since I'm kind of, well, I wanted to go in order, but I'm also going to be switching some stuff around, right? So, like I said, I wanted to change the arms and the legs. See if this works. I used the arm in its entirety before from here, but the bar is kind of long. I can show you. Oops. Well, that is what I need. And this one is short for the Megami Device Archer. So they're not going to be able to work well together. And stick out kind of awkwardly, and I don't want that, so I'm going to try to have it stick in. Yeah, that's correct. I'm going to have to remove this part, because that's also part of that armor. Okay, try this. That works. Oh yeah, that looks great. And we'll take one of the legs. Oh, I should probably move this up so that you can actually see. Like that. I thought this kind of made it look thicker, but it's only at the top. For the rest of the leg, well, maybe a bit, but not that much. It's not something you're really going to notice all that much, and you probably wouldn't have noticed if I didn't call attention to it. So, put in the leg. Of course, I need to remove this part, and then bring this over. See, turns into a sword. Nice and versatile. Of course, this isn't the one that I'll be using because I'll be building the Ari version, which will then be easier to paint. So apart from the color scheme and head popping off, that's a bit more. Whoops. I need a better stand, maybe. That's a bit more what that will look like. And I need to center that a bit more. Of course, I did take all the parts off of that from Mel, and I can see whether or not these will work. The only thing there is that Mel doesn't have dark gloves or thigh highs, so I may have to use from if I want her to be armored as well, which I likely do, I will need to use from Astra Ninja, which, unless Mel says otherwise, might well suit her. Let's see if I can kind of suppose, what's with the hair going like that? And then put this kind of back to back with her. If I can do this without them falling over. And the articulation is almost the same, and I can do it as though you're done with the Asa Archer parts, which she is, Asa Archer. But if you want a full review, I do have it out on my YouTube channel. I don't know, I haven't edited my footage for the Amazing Red Warrior yet. I can actually use the ones that I have. When it comes to Mel, the thing is, she's got a lot of white and some purple, but not black. So I'm going to have to work with that in order to make that fit. I could use silver potentially. I just wanted to point that one out before I move on to I need now the Gundam. But I did need to show the differences here. Articulation, of course, here is going to be all the same no matter what. Apart from maybe legs and feet. Oh yes, the feet, because they were pretty much stuck on those ones. And here, and go forward that far. Let's see, trying to get my hands out of the way. Backwards. And you can only get side to side if you rotate the part correctly, because that is that stick ball joint again. And then you've got to try to center it, and this moves like that. But other than that, and then the bow, and these parts do turn all the way around really, but the body does block. It does have these to help it hold on to items, so that is very good. We've got lots of whites and some purples on there, as well as the line of black in this design, and purples on the shoulders. I do have that meta purple that I mentioned before. Meta purple that I can use all along there, as well as purple for the hair. She's got pink there, and it's quite bright, so I would use that. And the white, again, might be problematic if it wasn't already white. And silver again. And black, of course. I have my black somewhere. Here. And even gray if I want a little bit there. Gray. And light blue on her laces, which would make a good effect. Here's light blue. It's almost the same. Purple in the bottoms of her shoes too. And heels. I did want heels for her. And black for the laces. That's pretty good. So I think that I could approximate that pretty well. As we said before, her color scheme is white, purple, with a little blue and black, kind of like highlights. So I am going to have to get rid of all the green. All the green must go. But again, there's the issues with the white. So probably what I could do is I could change the main color, meta purple, with pink highlights like from her hair, so there's a bit of a gradient there, and then use my two blues on the other side for highlights. So instead of the green, it's going to be purple and pink, and then add in some blues, although you have to be careful because we already have all these clear blue parts here. And then I shouldn't paint the tail. It's the Goofar 35's heat rod, if you want to know where I got it. And it's flexible, but if I use paint on it, it's no longer going to be flexible. On the other hand, I could try the tail that came with Super Fumina Titans. I already gave the ears to Neo, so Mel can't get them. And Mel also has blue eyes. I'm pretty sure these eyes are blue. Yeah, they are. They're blue. So changing that will work. Definitely main color purple because I've already made the condensers blue. It's not that I can't change it, it's that you already have all these clear blue pieces all over the suit as condensers. So I'm just going to make sure that things fit and then use them as they are, basically. Just adapting what I have with what I need to do. So we've already got pink hair, but she's got purple streaks, so I'm going to use purple there. And she does have horns as well. And kind of turn two. And we've got pink, but if we look at these two, I think it's closer to this one. So I'll try with that one and see if it sticks. Sometimes it might not show up. And use this pink for her leg band, I think, as well as for the little lacy things, the ribbons on the top of her shoe, because underneath you still see the other pink on her legging. And we do have the shorter sock. I didn't notice before, but she seems to have bells tied to her too. I think we could use those for beam emitters, perhaps. Not to weaponize the entire cute, but she is weapon cute anyway. Going to either have to use the other shoes or paint these ones black. I'm perfectly fine with painting them black, and they're already kind of pink. So we got pink, we got purple. We also seem to have kind of black and gray, and kind of not exactly bleeding into themselves, but it's dark on the top, so I can use the black there and then use the gray further out, or I could just use the gray, because that looks pretty close, and then use the black for places like the straps on the shoulders that show underneath her sweater. Use the black at the top of her thigh high and her sock. And she's also got those heart hair clips. So I could potentially do black hearts here and here. I don't know what her new model will look like yet, but I figure there's room. And also she has that bow, so you have pink I can do out here, and I believe that's green in the middle. Kind of purple. Well, it's dark though. So either purple or blue around the midriff, like here. I think I could go with blue. I could go with purple though. And especially if I do use it at the start, because both my metallic green and my metallic purple, the mixture of silver and the color aren't completely mixed when I start out. So the green starts out being dark and the purple starts out being dark, and then it becomes lighter later on. My control on my phone disconnected, but I reconnected almost right away. So that seems pretty straightforward, I think. So now, let's see if it is actually connected. So with Mousy, we of course have the palette of purple, and of course we also have her half heart shaped ahoge on the top, as well as her horn, but none of these things have anything like an ahoge. I could make the at least one V-fin pink though. So our palette is the same as before. So I could do pink for at least some of the body, but because it's already so dark, that might be a bit tricky. And use this pink to make it brighter, especially down at the shoes. I want a purple streak up on the head, so we have some purple there, and either blue or purple again beside the vents there, probably. Or I could go, or I might go gray for variety, because when it comes around again, you'll see that you already have blue and purple already on the chest. So we want to make that stand out. I might do gray, that might be better. And then with the skirting, and do dark blue or dark purple, depending. And then black at the top of the thigh, and pink going down into the shoe. And on the other side, I'd leave most of that blank, put a little line there where the sock is, and then the bell and the other shoe. In Silver's case, I do have pictures of her models, but because I don't have her permission yet, I am not going to display them. So, with Silver, she does have a lot of black in the top and the mini skirt, and fortunately that means that I can take my black to the mini skirting as well as some of the top. She does have quite a bit of blue and pink as well, especially in the hair. I think it's blue. And don't really remember at this point. Not that I'm going to show it, but I can open up the file where I have her stuff. Should have it in there. Yeah. So she has blacks and grays as kind of fishnetty, sort of. So I can do black in the top and crisscross the middle with pinks and blues. I can use grays. Well, there's kind of a bluish gray already, but if I wanted to differentiate it a bit, use this gray to do that. And then on her belt she has a pink line, then black, and then a blue line, and a little wolf, little white wolf buckle. So I could probably do that in silver rather than white, because silver, and also because of my white issues. I have issues with white color. Oh, I forgot again, didn't I? Back to it. Plus the pink stripes on her skirt and little blue stripes on the bottom. Then if you're looking at her left thigh high is blue, her right is pink, and she also has a heart-shaped garter on top of the pink one, and then some calf-high buckled boots that are black. So we're looking at some pink, silver, blue, but light blue. Did I say black? Black and gray. Also, for her hair and the mechanical wolf ears, if I'm going with that, we have blue and pink. And I can kind of use the V-fins as the ears on this one, or I can go into one of my other kits and pull out some ears. Not pull out, but you know what I mean. Also, we've got her Okami Veil model, so I might use or copy her facial markings, which are in red. And if I do that, I can also put some markings on her shoulders. But I don't think I should. I don't think it would be easy either to incorporate more Okami Veil into her usual costume. I'm just going to go with the kind of things that I said so far. I think that will work. So that is what I plan to do there. So it does have pink hair, so all I have to do is add blue, although it's tied and not loose. I can lean into the Okami Veil angle with the mask, just change up the markings a bit, and lean into Okami Veil more because the paneled armor bits can be used to shape kind of a kimono as well. We've got lots and lots of clear red parts, not just for the original blades, and again some slashy weapons, because as you probably noticed with the Miss Sasabi, I chose to lean on the fact that Silver seems to like slashy stabby weapons in Dead by Daylight, and chose Miss Sasabi partly because it has slashy stabby weapons, and also because it's tall and it's slightly colored, so it will be easy to change. Also, Astra QB has two very big assets, so that fits with Silvervale, who also has very big assets. Though somewhat humorously, her QB's armor mode, which you see on the top right, kind of looks like what Melody wears on her other service. I would probably use the Sote mode top instead. I think the crisscross ribbon on her thigh highs are a water slide decal, but I can use them anyway because of the way Okami Veil is also designed. But I also want to have enough Silvervale in there at the same time we have Okami Veil. And maybe I can include some of her dress because there is some good skirting there in the Sote mode. You know, the light blue butterfly dress, which is really cute. But otherwise we're leaning into Silvervale's black for her top and her skirt. And, well, one thing I'm particularly excited about is that this one comes with what is essentially a Wave Rider mode, as many Gundam fans would be familiar with that. So, if Silvervale doesn't get something that lets her fly soon, then she will end up having this flight mode first on her classic model rather than after she does something in a game that allows her to fly. In either case, this model has that capability. But it seems as though, at least on another picture, the mask can either go slanted on the head or held in the hand or fully on the head. So there's some variety there as well. But if we have the mask, then we don't necessarily need to add wolf ears to this one. Can be an option, not necessarily necessary. But that is about it, because unfortunately I don't think people are chatting. But that is the way that it goes here with this model. As I said before, I don't have it yet. One thing that gets in the way of me getting it is the fact that right now Japan Post isn't doing SAL packaging, which is the least expensive shipping that they generally have. And then there's the fact of stock. And this thing isn't all that inexpensive because of all the plastic in it, and I like to get things as cheaply as possible. I generally get things when they're on sale or when they're pre-owned at AmiAmi. And I'm going to be honest with you, there is quite a lot there, and I don't know when I would be able to get stuff shipped again, but at least I have most of the models and can get started. And of course, I believe I did mention before that I am not using this model for Zentreya. I am going to use from another box that I have. But again, not that big a deal. I do have them, so I can work from those anyway. And as for adding other VTubers to the project, that all depends on permissions and how well this goes. We'll see once I'm done with the ones that I have, whether or not I want to continue with this project. I probably will, because again, I like the challenge of doing the models, and I like sharing these things, and I'm doing these as live builds in order to be able to share them with you in the community, and hopefully with their communities as well.